Dead Rising has one of the hardest achievements in gaming, not from a skill standpoint, but from a mental standpoint. 7 Days Survivor is infamous for its endurance test of 14 straight hours of gameplay that must be done in one sitting, with your health constantly draining, the zombies and psychopaths being more aggressive, and the amount of dead time you spend just waiting, trying not to forget to eat. This challenge almost broke me, as I survived not 7, but 13 days in Willamette Mall. I'm sure a lot of you watching are actually younger siblings. I have an older brother, and growing up I used to watch him play through a lot of new released games. It might just be the way that I am, but I really enjoyed just sitting there and hanging out with him while he played through a game. I enjoyed watching him, and like I said, we were hanging out together, so it was a lot of fun. As a result though, there's a lot of classic games that I watched him play that I know front to back, but I never actually experienced for myself because after seeing him play through the game, I just didn't feel the need to play through it myself. I saw what the game had to offer and I already got enjoyment out of it. And not to mention, I had my own games I wanted to play, so I didn't have time to sit and play through his games. I wanted to play mine. And one of those games, one of his favorite games of all time, is the original Dead Rising. Dead Rising was just one of those games I never felt the interest to actually play as a kid, and I enjoyed just watching my brother get enjoyment from it. Now, last year, I decided that it was about time that I actually sat down and played through it, and honestly, it just didn't click for me at first, and I didn't have that much fun playing it. I decided that I really needed to play through and experience the game in its entirety, and I figured, well, I'm not enjoying the original so much, but I have a PS5, why don't I get the deluxe digital remaster? And it was fun. It was fun. It wasn't anything crazy. I had a lot of fun, but I genuinely don't know that I was ever going to play it again. I had beaten the game, that was about it for me. You might be asking yourself, how did I go from just an okay first experience to grinding out all 50 achievements on the original on Steam? Well, my brother and I do an annual gaming competition with a couple of buddies, which is a lot of fun and a really good way of cleaning up your backlog of games. If you're curious to know what this competition entails, let me know in the comments actually, because it would be a lot of fun to introduce to you guys, and I can maybe do it for next year's competition. But this year, I randomly got the original Dead Rising selected as one of the games I needed to 100% complete. When that game popped up on my screen, my brother bursted out laughing, because he knew what was coming. Zombie Genocider, Saint, Frank the Pimp, Transmissionary, and of course, 7 Days Survivor. Now, the interesting thing about all of this is that my brother, while he loves this game, and I can't even count on 2 hands the number of times he's beaten it, he himself has never done 7 Days Survivor, which I don't blame him. No one wants to sit committed to one game for 14 straight hours, especially if you're by yourself. So it's just something he never felt the need to do, but I would say definitely felt incomplete for him to have never done it. So we agreed. If I 100% Dead Rising outside of 7 Days Survivor and technically 5 Days Survivor, then me and him would pick a day where we make sure there's nothing going on. He comes over with his computer and we're gonna start first thing in the morning and 100% the game together. Now, before we get into the attempt, I'm gonna give a quick rundown on how Infinite Mode and the 7 Days Survivor achievement works, just for those watching that may not know. In Infinite Mode, the main difference outside of there being no missions is that Frank's health constantly ticks down on its own. After 20 minutes in real life, his life bar will hit 0 and your run will end. Other changes are food items do not respawn once consumed, infinite food locations like Sean's Supermarket are closed off, and major food drops are mostly accessible from killing survivors and psychopaths who spawn at set times in certain areas around the mall. You thankfully do get access to any of your unlockables, such as the Mega Buster, which are essential for a successful run. You also can't use your camera for some strange reason. I assume maybe just to stop you from zooming in and out. On top of the camera, you also can't use your watch, so the only way to know how long it's been or how many days in you are is to transition between major areas or look at the in-game clocks and figure out the time on your own. As we get into the run that I did with my brother, I don't have any footage for it because originally this wasn't supposed to be made into a video. It was just a thing we were going to do together. And also the thought of OBS accidentally exploding my computer just randomly while I was playing the game didn't appeal to me too much. So I figured, don't turn on OBS, don't record it. Let's just enjoy ourselves on this Saturday. We're going to spend the whole day playing Dead Rising. And that's all it was supposed to be. So as I talk about the things that happened in our playthrough, it's off of my memory. I remember it very, very well. My brother remembered a lot of it too. So all of what happened is how it played out, but the footage might not always match perfectly 1-to-1 because I just don't have it. Sorry. Starting off like any 7 Days Survivor attempt, you grab the Mega Buster, your wrestling outfit, and you set off to kill the first NPC of the run, Otis. Once you betray your friend and collect their food, you head down to the entrance plaza from the security room, as this entryway into the mall is open in this mode, and here we have a run-in with Paul. Kill him, head down to Al Fresca, go to the food court to take out Carlito's first fight, and make our way to the hostage location outside of Chryslip's home and garden store. And also, I forgot to mention, it is required you collect the 3 health books located along the way in the entrance plaza, Wonderland Plaza, and the hostage room outside of Chryslip's. And without these books, you will not survive. You need them. After acquiring the books and stockpiling a high quality of healing items, it's time for the main part of the run, a showdown with the Sniper family. They first appear in the park on top of the pavilion, and killing all 3 will provide you with enough food, paired with what you already collected, to sit on top of the pavilion for about 2 hours of real time or 1 full in-game day. And this is where the mental struggle begins. You need to sit and let your health drain to almost 0. Consume a full heal, rinse and repeat until you are almost out of healing items and you set off to replenish your Mega Buster and your food. This isn't hard, it's actually quite easy. The problem is you need to stay focused. Losing your concentration for even a minute can result in your run ending early because you just weren't paying attention. This can be helped by setting alarms for you for when you need to eat, putting a movie or a game on a separate device to keep you busy, or reading up on a guide of when NPCs spawn in the mall so you can plan your route once you have to move again. If you're careful with dodging zombies and you stay somewhat active and you try to keep a full inventory of 7 to 8 full heal items on you, then 7 hours into day 6, you get your chance to show down with the Sniper family one more time in the entrance plaza. This is significant. There's a whole stockpile of food all across the stores in the entrance plaza. And after killing the family, my brother and I decided to stockpile all the food from our inventory, the Snipers and the plaza stores inside of Ned's Knickknackery on the 2nd floor, as this is one of the many safe zones in the game. As long as you close the door behind you, zombies cannot get into the store, and since zombies don't spawn inside the stores, this area is 100% safe. After gathering all the food, we added up our full heals and a smirk crossed our faces, as we realized we had enough healing items to take us way past 7 days, meaning we get to sit, relax, and we're gonna win. I could picture in my head the moment that achievement would pop up on the screen, us jumping out of our seats and embracing, knowing that we made it through it together. And as we fully heal up our characters, we press the timer, set it to 17 minutes like we had done so many times that day. We get up and we go and grab a beer to celebrate. And as I catch up with my wife in the other room, because I hadn't talked to her in the last hour or so and I wanted to see how her night was going, my brother went on ahead without me, back to the game room where we were playing, and all I hear is him scream my name out. I run back to the room where we had our game set up as fast as I could, and all I see on the screen is you survived for 5 days, 16 hours, and 1 minute. As my brother and my wife try to console me and piece together what the hell happened, I stared at the screen for minutes, body frozen in place, realizing I failed the challenge. After 12.5 hours, it was over. I lost. We were safe. We were supposed to be safe. I closed the door behind me. My brother was alive and well. We were in the same situation. As I sat there for the next 10 minutes or so in disbelief that I fucked up and just didn't know how, my brother risked his guaranteed win to try and figure out what happened. One of the windows to the storefront had to have been broken. The Mega Buster itself doesn't break the glass when it's shot, and zombies can't break the glass themselves. But then I remembered. I took down the father of the snipers in front of the store, and while I used my Mega Buster to do so, when I went back to collect food, there was a horde of zombies around his body, and I did a jumping kick towards the pile, which would have been enough to shatter a pane of glass. And with the density of zombies around his corpse, I didn't even realize. Since I cleared all the zombies in front of the store, it took a while before any made it back over there to climb in and get me. And unfortunately, it happened right as we both left the room. If one of us had just stayed, we would have caught it. It happened so quick. 60 seconds away from the keyboard cost me the entire run. No, this isn't happening. Not like this. I started again. I had to pause and just hope nothing happened to my computer and caused it to reboot. If I failed a second time, I probably wouldn't go back. I didn't change a single thing about my approach. In fact, I felt so much more confident going into my second run, having spent 12.5 hours playing this game straight. I knew where health was. I knew which psychopaths I wanted to fight and when. I had a clear-cut strategy, and even though I was a little reckless in the beginning as a result, I was so locked in by the time I hit the first Sniper family fight. The stress came from, what if I woke up and the game crashed? The game would be up and running in the background for close to 55, maybe 60 hours. As you can see by my playtime on Steam, eclipsing 90 hours total. The first night was kind of hard to sleep because honestly, I just kept thinking I forgot to pause the game, and if I did, I'm already dead. It's too late. My diet slowly merged with Frank West, and I found myself eating cooked pizzas and chugging orange juice as if my life depended on it. I was constantly hoping that the next chance I would get to play, I'd turn on the monitor and just see that beautiful blue pause screen and that my controller hadn't disconnected. When I made it back to the Sniper family on day 6, I decided I'm gonna do this the way my brother and I planned, and I'm gonna hide out in Ned's Knick Knackery with all my food, and I'm gonna stare at those window panes and watch zombies just try to get in. And I'm gonna laugh in their faces as I finally get my moment and complete this game. So I loaded up on food, I counted the full heals, watched the zombies stare at me through the window, and as I saw the achievement show up, I felt the biggest sense of accomplishment, a feeling I haven't gotten from a video game since I beat Mike Tyson on the original Punch-Out. I had persevered. I made my way up to the helipad, and I let the zombies take me. I had 100% completed Dead Rising. This game was always one of my brother's favorites, and it still is to this day. Going through all my playthroughs, getting all the achievements, watching and following guides, and eventually committing to doing 7-Day Survivor together, even though I had experienced failure as I watched my brother achieve something he had long awaited, I finally got it. I appreciated this game. Hell, I love this game. It might genuinely be one of my favorite games I've ever played. So yeah, this game almost broke me. But instead it has a special place in my heart, and all it took was surviving for 13 days. See you in the next one. Cheers. I appreciate you sticking around to the end of this video, and I hope you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so that you can see me take on other challenging games in the future, or if you want to see me take on games for the first time that are classics or from classic franchises that I missed out on, you can go and check out my First Impressions playlist that's already on the channel. You can go and watch me play through Metroid Prime for the first time, or maybe check out some obscure Banjo games. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.